Hello. Let's do a reading about Facebook. I have been making some videos. Yes, they're on Patreon, available to anyone who becomes a patron, but I'm not really pushing. I don't want you to feel like I'm pushing you. But I have been making some videos about what are called thought forms. Basically, it's clumps of energy on the other side, the astral, the whatever you want to call it, however you view it, that certain things it's like a big clump of energy, and they have that energy, and that's what comes into, that has to exist before something can come into being, and it can keep something going. And how strong something's thought form is, how strong a thought form is, can have very strong effects on what happens in the physical world. I'm explaining all that because in trying to read about Facebook's energy is massive. We know how many people use it. We know how many people abuse it. Facebook disappeared tomorrow. I have some aunts and uncles and cousins whom I would never know a single thing about their lives. There is a lot of not just thought and use, there's a lot of emotion involved in Facebook. And it is being headed, there's a board. Zuckerberg, I want to say, does he control 60% of the stock? Zuckerberg and Sandberg are running it. And there's reason to say not running it well. But the future of Facebook, when I do readings on people, I can kind of reach my energy out to them and try to feel what their energy is like. It's a massive, it feels, it's not just like a person, it's like a massive building. That's what it has, that kind of strength and solidity. So let's see what, it's a behemoth. So Facebook, yeah, it feels very concrete. Very concrete with one of those faux stone facades. I don't know, usually I think of them as some of the older FBI buildings. What is it, that older FBI building in Washington, D.C.? Where it's concrete, but then it has those little fake beige stones just kind of pressed into the concrete, or is it a surface? That's what it feels like. And you and I, we are each one of those little tiny stones on this massive building. Facebook. It doesn't want to be looked at. It has been built to generate money, but to not be scrutinized. And there's a lot of energy, time, effort, smart people who've been hired and worked on making it. It's like a massive building with no doors and little narrow windows. You know, those little narrow 1970s windows? Nobody home. Nothing to see here. All stonework. Go look at the pretty pictures. Bye-bye now. Okay. So it feels like it doesn't want me to read on it. It's just kind of odd. It has been hugely, massively, incredibly successful. We know that. And profits. Quarterly results, quarterly profits. It's about the money and the changes they would have to make in order to make it, to really keep people's privacy and to keep out foreign intervention in elections and things like that would cripple them financially, as they see it. It wouldn't actually, is the sense I'm getting, but they're beholden to quarterly profits on Wall Street because they've chosen to be. Base of their reading, keep people, and the words that are coming to my head are dumb and happy. And send one guy. It just feels like one guy yeah, send them around to kind of patrol a little bit. And now they're being asked to make decisions. Zuckerberg's board is telling him he might need to leave, and he's saying, yeah, I have 60% of the shares, you can't make me. But they have to make decisions on how to fix this, because this, maybe they'll get away with this, but that's the situation. Your future court cases, government oversight, government investigations, I should say. Democrats turning against Facebook. Democrats gaining more and more power and turning against their monopoly, turning against a lot their business practices, turning against the mistakes they've made. Them sending, instead of just one person going around patrolling, this is just a battalion of lobbyists going to Washington with a lot of money. A lot of money. And more where that came from. Which technically comes from us, by the way. Home environment. Them just looking at their own systems. How do we make it better? How can we make it more profitable? How can we... They're still just... They're not even really looking at this. It's their system. How can they make the most of their system? Because Zuckerberg, I mean, we already know he does have a robotic streak to him. Fear that enough people are going to get upset and leave. And that would really, really damage them. See it. Other people see the Facebook executives are under increasing scrutiny for their bad business practices, and they're bad business practices. Final outcome, government is going to get involved. But all these people are getting a lot of money, so what does that mean? It feels like the Democrats, not just short-term Democrats, turning against Facebook, it's Democrats in general. But there's so much money coming in, the government will try to step up, but then it'll be kind of wishy-washy. Facebook continues on, but they don't fix it. They don't fix it. And they just keep relying on people, who don't want to lose touch with distant relatives and old friends, and there's really no competition, but eventually this is investigators, actual criminal investigators getting involved. Well, let's see what that's about. Tell me, let's Queen of Swords, let's hear more about that. Okay, I'm feeling like I should do this. I don't know why. But why not? Having trouble picking a final card. All right, what have we got here? I'm going to guess right now that this is what they say they're going to do and what they're actually going to do. Is what I'm guessing. And it's not going to work. Very strongly, it's not going to work. They're going to go the touchy-feeling, oh, don't push us too hard, we're poor little lambs and nice people, and Sandberg has some real tragedy in her life, and Zuckerberg is still seen as the upstart, and they're going to play on that like nobody's business. They're going to hold on to their secrets. They're going to go against people going against them. They're going to use all of the power and influence of their money, and they have a phenomenal amount of it. And the feeling I'm getting off that card is that what you think of as big media companies have nothing on Facebook. They're pocket change, and it's not going to work. It's not going to work. They're just gonna go on and on and on. That's interesting. Sometimes I find that, as annoying as it was in French class, that they gave genders to nouns, I'm getting a sense that Facebook, the energy of Facebook, is vaguely gendered, and it's gendered female. That's what I'm getting. All right, so what's going to happen? Are they going to face the music? Is there some, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. Is there going to be competition? Is there going to be competition? Are they going to be broken up under monopoly laws? Are new people going to come in and change how things are done? What's going to happen? It's going to take some serious time, whatever it is. More of the same. Even some of the same cards. I mean, just poor woe is us. We're just lovely people trying to do a good thing, keeping Facebook users blind and happy, sending their wussy patrols around, their pathetic security. I don't have that much ire built up against Facebook currently, but it feels, the more I'm looking at this, it's one of the reasons it doesn't want to be looked at, because its energy is really quite nasty. But you have to get in there and look, and once you go in there and look, it's like, yuck. It's corrupt. It's selfish. Like, I don't know if I want my mother going in there even as infrequently as she does. It's just, I don't want that happening to her energy. Her energy being influenced by that, yuck. This feels like foreign competition. They're going to do what they can, communicate as best they can, but this feels like foreign competition. Another company coming in, people being like, oh, there's an alternative of some nature. It's not quite the same. I'm getting the feeling that there will be a point where there will be people who are very nostalgic about how Facebook was back whenever. I remember when, but I'm seeing this just feels like foreign competition. Very much so. Someone's going to have an alternative. And people may not even want the alternative at first, because they're used to what they're used to. They'll mess with it. But once the investigators start getting involved for some of the corruption, people start looking at their options. Zuckerberg is going to go down in history as not the reputation he has right now, as beautiful child, savant kind of visionary. There's some corruption. There's some decisions they've made that were really bad. And it feels like I'm walking inside the building and it smells like oil and it's kind of dim and it's a lot of servers and it's nowhere you'd want to go. It isn't, you almost think of Facebook as being like, oh, it's kind of, almost like a coffee shop kind of thing, but no, it's a money-making it's a cold machine. And it doesn't matter how widely it's used. Yeah, well, that's horrible. It's going to take a while. We're going to be putting up with Facebook for quite a while. But not forever. It does feel like eventually, I can feel it on the edges, that eventually there is going to be good competition somewhere. And it's going to come in and it's going to be like, oh, thank heavens. But it's going to take time, even once the competition comes in. All right, so that's what I'm getting for Facebook. Thank you for watching.